everybody, it's Jo. So today we're going to talk about what to say to your friend if she or he comes to you and says that they have been sexually assaulted or sexually abused. That can seem like a daunting conversation to have. These are not easy subjects to talk about, especially because we as a culture have kind of deemed them taboo. Actually, it's not that hard to support your friend if they come to you and they tell you this. There's a few things to remember. First of all, the fact that your friend has even come to you and shared this extremely personal information with you means that they trust you. Way to be an awesome friend. So how do you have this conversation? First thing is just listen. Really, I can't stress that enough. That is the most important thing by far. I can't tell you how many people interrupt or interject their own thoughts or stop you halfway. It is actually one of the most healing things to have someone just listen, because there's nothing that anyone can do to fix what's happened, but there's a lot that people can do to help. If you can listen to your friend's experience or story and say, I am so sorry, how can I help? Those words are so powerful. Asking the question of how can I help is really important for two reasons. First of all, because your friend is sharing with you an experience in which someone took all choice away from them. So when you are asking your friend, how can I help you? What can I do for you? You are putting all the power back in their hands. That is really empowering. That helps them feel safe and cared for and loved. It's really difficult to share with anyone that you've been sexually abused or sexually assaulted, and so the more that you can make your friend feel like they're not weird, they're not at fault, they're not doing anything wrong by telling you this story, the better that you are supporting them. Next, make sure that they know that it is not their fault. Every survivor I've ever talked to feels like it is their fault. If your friend mentions anything that might suggest that they are some way to blame, or even if they don't, make sure that they know that you know they did not cause this. They are not at fault for what happened to them. It is their abuser's fault and no one else's. If you repeat words like that, like this is not your fault, that will really go a long way towards their recovery. Thank them for telling you. Thank them for trusting you with this information, because as a survivor, it is really hard to talk to people about this, especially people you know and trust and have known from before. You don't know how people are going to judge you. You don't know what people are going to say. Oftentimes, people have really negative responses that are damaging, and so by telling anyone this, your friend is taking a risk, and the fact that they have told you means that they trust you and that they're really putting themselves out there in a vulnerable position. The biggest thing is just to love them, support them, and be there. If you can do that, you're doing great. It can be hard to know if you should bring it up again after they've told you about it. And I think the answer to that is yes and no. If they want to talk about it again, talk about it again. And I would encourage you to open up that conversation. If someone has told you this information, they want you to know it, right? I know that sometimes I would tell people and then it would be out there and I'd feel really uncomfortable talking about it again, but I'd want to talk about it again. And when friends would ask me, hey, how are you doing really? How's your recovery going? Or how's counseling going? Or just asking me a question about it, it opened the door. So if I wanted to talk about it, I could. If I didn't want to, I didn't have to. If you can open up that conversation so that your friend knows that you haven't forgotten about it, that you do care, that's a great way to support them. Never make them talk about it, but let them know that you're not afraid to, that you're not afraid to listen, and that you're not afraid to be there for them. Still treat them like normal people. They're still normal people, but they are going through something that is extremely difficult and they do need your help. Still invite them to coffee. Still invite them to go do things. Know that they might flake out. Know that they might be different. Know that they might have weird reactions to things, and that's okay. I cannot tell you how far the support of people around goes towards saving your friend's life. In my experience, it was the people who were closest to me, who stuck around, who listened, and who were consistently there, who legitimately saved my life. Thank you so much for caring about your friend. Thank you for caring to educate yourself further on how to best support them and listen to them. That is truly amazing, and you're a great friend for doing that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Jo Beckwith. This is Sophie. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Here come the shepherds.